Ladies and gentlemen, as part of Nitro Media, it's the Roy and Matt Show.
Welcome to the Roy and Matt Show, and to all of our Norwegian listeners, velkommen til showet.
Velkommen.
Oh, did I say it wrong?
I don't know. I just wanted to agree with you.
Say it again.
Velkommen til showet. Showet.
Let's all say velkommen til det showet.
Shove it.
That is Norwegian for welcome to the show. Clearly, I'm fluent.
It's excellent.
For those of you in Norway who have no idea, that intro took a lot of practice.
Well, it took I think 47 seconds to look it up on Google Translation, and that's what we think of our Norwegian listeners right there. 47 seconds. There's a lot of countries that didn't even get 47 seconds.
Thank you.
You know how much surfing happens in 47 seconds when you're on the internet? So that's kudos to you for focusing on that.
For some reason, in my mind, intern Jake, I thought you were talking about surfing in the ocean.
No, surfing the internet.
No.
Yeah.
Well, that's all right. Well, welcome once again. As you welcomed our Norwegian folks, we'll welcome everyone else. And once again, I'm Roy.
I'm Matt.
And with us today is still Logan at all the controls.
Producer Logan over here.
And intern Jake.
Hey.
All right. Jake generally has a deeper voice, but, we're going for a different demographic today.
You have to cater to it, otherwise it goes away really quick.
Fantastic. Jake will be keeping track, once again, of all the things that we leave open-ended, and at some point in time, he'll bring it all home.
I'll try.
So let's get to the show. Well, let's get back to our old show of last week, and we left everyone with homework.
We did.
So does everyone remember their homework?
You left me with homework. Logan picked out his soccer team last week.
Yes, so if you
whoa, shots fired. Intern Jake, you're not paying attention. We were all supposed to have an adventure as well.
An adventure.
I had my adventure.
Okay.
I edited your last show.
Yeah, my adventure was going through the last 40 minutes trying to get that intro out of you.
Well, those are adventures, but we did talk about other adventures. And Logan, you're saying the adventure you had was to edit the show.
I edited the last show, the first show, and it was fun. It was enjoyable to listen to everything again because that last show was great. It was a great way to start up a new show.
So the final show on the first one was about an hour. And 3 minutes, I believe.
An hour and 3 minutes. And
how much did you have to cut out?
I think you guys had an hour, and it was somewhere between an hour and 15 and an hour and 20 total.
Not bad.
Not a lot of waste.
There was some chunks there where there was like some side notes. We were discussing, how to do things, and I just left it rolling because we went very naturally from topics you wanted to talk about to logistical stuff, and so it was a little bit difficult to pick that stuff out. But once it was done, it was done.
Well, you guys have done this. You've done this for 4 months, as we qualified last time. So rate it. Rate it. I mean, was it given like a 1 to 10? Don't go below 7. That's all I'm saying.
Just an overall rating?
Yes, an overall. What do you think? How did it go?
I don't know. It's hard because, substance-wise, you guys are like if we're going on a 1 to 10, it was like a 9, like on substance level, but presentation-wise, I mean, this present was pretty poorly wrapped. I think you got some screws you can tighten, and then it'll just be golden all over.
Jake.
I'm sorry.
He's just being honest.
While I know you're 100% correct,
it still burns.
Still stings. Yeah.
Just so you know, you want to keep your mic so it's pointed into your mouth.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Well, that probably deducted us a few points from the Russian judge, Jake.
Burn.
Wow, Russian judge. Now we're getting racist on top of it.
We're catering to the non. You know what? We grew up American. Everything bad happens from the Russian judge.
Yeah. Cold Wars taught me one thing.
That's right. It's the Russian judge's fault.
I will say this.
Wolverines.
I miss the
old Wolverine.
I miss the Cold War.
I was going to say, that's North Korea now. Strange how that happened.
But still, the Russians had a hand
the North
in it.
Korean judge, Jake.
Kim Jong-Jake.
Kim Jong-Jake.
The amount of nicknames I'm going through is something special.
Well, I think now the bar is set. Kim Jong-Jake is the bar. So we all have to vote to see if any of us have a joke that beats that.
No.
I don't. That's tough.
Logan's king of the naming Jakes this week.
Way to fire out early.
I was waiting for the intern Jake's T-shirt.
Now set the bar, and now the rest of the show's done for me.
Yeah. You were saying, Matt.
Legitimately, I miss the Cold War. I love the Olympics. I am my whole family. We are Olympic junkies. We have an opening ceremonies party for every single Olympics. I stay up. I record everything. I watch last Winter Olympics. I watched more biathlon and cross country skiing than anybody in the world.
Awesome naps.
I was hooked.
Those are just the best naps.
But when I was younger, and we could hate Russia, it was
Who do you hate?
awesome.
Who do you? That's a good point. Who do you hate now?
Well, like if we're like, oh,
North Korea. They don't even do the Olympics, do they?
Well,
do-
they ping pong and badminton. They're
They'll,
huge.
they'll do some stuff. They're big in soccer. They're part
No,
of the World Cup.
What's the?
Stop.
They're probably what?
They are part of the World Cup.
Stop. That's a cute thing to say, but they come out of the World Cup in the Oceania group, which means they crawl out of my toilet to qualify for the World Cup, and then they get moited by the first round. They'll stick with ping
I
pong.
don't know whether I want to defend North Korea.
You don't
in
have to
this
defend North
well,
Korea. You lived there a couple years. I mean, it's
No,
not
South Korea.
Whatever. Okay.
Oh.
South
Then you
Korea I
shouldn't even
love.
defend it
Whoa.
at all.
South
I mean,
Korea
if
I
there's,
love.
if there's nothing
Well,
we
no,
learned, if there's nothing we learned from MASH, is that North Korea is bad, and now it's just still bad. So
But think about how many cool movies were about how Russia was bad. Rocky IV,
awesome.
Ivan Drago.
Reds with Jim Belushi, I think, or whatever that show was. What was the show where he was like a secret agent? And then they go and there's something crazy happens. And then,
And then he says something funny.
and he said, right.
And he's chunky.
Yeah.
And it's the Russians' fault.
Spies like us,
Spies like us.
Doctor. I'm just saying, I miss there being two
Yeah.
clear-cut
How many James
superpowers.
Bond movies? Yeah.
Oh, fair.
It's
So,
true. All right.
I don't know how we got here. Where were we before?
We were on rating the podcast.
Rating the podcast.
Rating the podcast.
Kim Jong
So
Jake.
I'm sorry. On my one solid number, I would give it. I think it's what's the math on that? 8.5.
better than 7.
Yeah.
That's good.
Logan?
I would give it a 7,
Hey,
including
so you
the
go
two.
awesome. The lowest thing you can give is a 7, and all of a sudden the North Korean judge, Jake, you're no longer the North Korean judge. The North Korean judge, Kim Jong Logan, is now the.
There's a reason
gives
Roy
us a
doesn't come
7.
up with nicknames.
Yeah, I don't. I have nothing. I
So,
got nothing.
Yeah. Do you want me to actually explain out why it's a 7, or do you just want to keep with?
Yeah.
your
Do you want the
hater-
deep cuts, or do you?
Yeah.
Just,
I
you
don't
just
know
take
if I
the
do.
7?
I don't know if I
Take the
do.
7.
because it wasn't. It was
Yeah, go
before,
ahead.
Before
Go
you
ahead.
said 7 was the lowest.
I will say this.
I was going on the 0 to 10 scale.
Okay,
of a
good.
7, and the
Well,
reason
you know what?
is.
The lowest for you is 0, so 7 is.
Yeah.
Seven's good.
Get
So
over
back to the
yourself.
original scale when I made my decision, 0 to 10. It's a 7. It was a good show. I mean, you guys had never done it before. You got to give a lot of credit to that. And so, content-wise, like I agree with Jake, it was great content.
That's a lot to live up to now. Now I'm looking at my show notes, going, man, I don't know if we got 9.
And we've
here
survived
today.
for almost 5 months. It gets harder. There was like a little bit of commentary there at the end of because we record our shows before this one, and
Right.
our other show was a little bit dry because we got into a serious topic. But
not
you know,
dry.
that happens.
Not dry.
It was depressing.
Depressing.
It was
the correct
right.
word.
Yeah, because it was.
I call
it
it
was
less
it was a
miserable.
really
2.
it was a really serious subject, and so there's times where you'll get into that and you just can't help it. It'll happen, but that's okay. So all in all, it was a good show. It was something that I felt comfortable saying, hey, listen to this.
Cool. Well,
Thank
we
you.
appreciate
Well,
that
appreciate
because
it.
we saw that there have been a number of viewers, and so that was kind of fun to see.
Well, and,
On the
and
raw
you-
video?
There's only no, not of the raw video of the final production one. But that was also only through one channel. It was only on the YouTube channel, and just for the audience, so they know, they can find the show at youtube.com/the Roy and Matt Show. It's right there. It's very easy to find.
Man, I didn't even know how to find it. I just knew that you sent me a link.
I sent
and
you the link
and
to
I
it,
forwarded
yeah.
it to a couple people.
So but that's only one way that you guys put the show out there right now, and that will hopefully change very
Sure.
soon. So yeah, it was good.
So I'm going to play intern Roy real quick and do Jake's job and come back to
No.
a closed loop and ask you about your adventure. What was your adventure, Matt?
I cut down a tree with a chainsaw.
You did cut down for it. Was that what you said you were going to do?
No, I said my adventure is open ended, and
Oh.
on Saturday, which I think for the most part is Adventure Day. My parents they have a relatively large yard they live on, and a tree had blown over, and my dad asked me to go rent a chainsaw and to cut it up into firewood and to take care of it. And
That's a crazy great adventure. I mean,
That
I can
is.
almost compare that to I mowed the lawn.
Well,
and
hold
so
on,
maybe
hold on.
I had an
Hold
adventure
on.
too that I didn't
I-
realize.
I blame your inability to not make comments on my ability to get this adventure out. because a Fijian guy I live near, I was getting ready to go, and he's like, "Where are you headed?" I said, "I'm gonna go chainsaw a tree up," and he stopped me, and goes, "That's the long way." I said, "What?" And he goes, "That will take forever."
Chainsaw.
He goes, "Let me go get my machete. I'll sharpen it up, and we'll go machete your tree." And I don't know if that makes an adventure, but having a this Fijian guy, I should let you know, is he would squish all of us. He's
I think all you have to
humongous.
say is Fijian guy, and all of
The
us
more
who've ever
you say
seen a
it.
Fijian guy, most of us know Fijian guys are just monsters.
He is a monster. He's the nicest guy in the world.
Wait,
but-
nicest monsters. That's what
Yeah,
I meant to
very-
say.
yeah, very-
like young Frankenstein monster.
Yeah.
He seemed like a pretty
Aw.
nice
Yeah.
guy.
I bought that today, actually.
solid. But he couldn't do it right then, so I went and cut my tree up, and I almost died like thrice. But every part of me wants to have a race with a monstrous Fijian cutting up an oak tree.
Sounds like a YouTube video waiting to happen.
He and his machete, and me with my chainsaw.
If he had two, would those be machete? If he just two machete just going, I got a head wave? No. All right, whatever. That's fine.
I don't.
I didn't know if you wanted an actual answer to that, but the
I-
answer is no.
I
A
think
lot
I
of the
think-
things we say we really don't want answers to. We
Yeah.
just want
That's true.
nods.
I think we should
Yes.
put that to a vote because I much prefer machete
Oh yeah, for sure.
to machetes.
It sounds like Jedi.
That
Well,
might-
that's
that
I
might
would
be
I would
part of it.
expect them to be wielding the machete as a Jedi.
They sound like some sort of vigilante group.
I-
The machete have struck in 7-Eleven again.
That's an awesome movie. I mean, Keanu Reeves would be in.
Greenlight it.
Yeah. Let's write a
Okay.
pilot. Let's write a
Okay.
pilot.
So
die.
that may not have been the best adventure, but you
It's a
weren't
good one,
there.
though.
You weren't
No,
there
no. It
when
sounds
the
like a
tree
good
was
adventure.
leaning against the other tree, and I was trying to cut it out, and it started falling towards me, and I dropped the
You
machete.
did you use a wedge it? Did you put a wedge in there?
Well, I was trying to.
I know a lot about this stuff because I've watched a lot of reality TV. We'll get into it. We'll get into it.
Okay.
Reality TV.
So my adventure was definitely on the lower end of the scale.
It involved chainsaw. You kind of beat me. I mean, as far as like actual doing something manly, like I have a semi-manly thing and a kind of like emotional manly thing.
I
I think
literally just had 2,000 jokes shoot into my head, and I just let them go. But carry on.
Go ahead. What are they?
I
Start semi-manly.
well, we got a new garbage disposal, so I had to take out and put in that. So that takes a lot of elbow grease, because that's fun. But besides that, I found out I have to have a pacemaker at 26 years old.
Oh my gosh.
Gosh. For
Yeah.
those of you in Norway, I've known intern Jake for 2 weeks now.
How old are you, Jake?
And I have no idea how to respond to
26.
this because that's the most depressing thing I've ever heard.
Yeah, and so it was been like an emotional, like, you know what, Jake, you just got to be a man up,
Well,
deal with it.
why? Can we ask? Do you
Yeah,
want to keep
no,
this
I
private?
have-
I mean, there's HIPAA laws.
He has a good reason.
I have all kinds of reasons.
Well,
I'm-
life.
He's
What's
a big
great-
man.
No,
And
not
he
even
needs a
that.
strong
How
heart.
tall are you?
I'm 6'7" if I stand up straight.
Okay, well, hunch. I mean,
How much- how much
let me
do you
save
weigh?
you,
Yeah,
let me
'cause
save you
his
some
heart
surgery.
cares about hunching.
Hunch over.
Hunch over. That doesn't.
Right.
That doesn't stop the heart from being a
But you're
necessity.
not a heavy.
No, it's not. The heart problems I have nothing to do with calories or things like that. Like
Hey,
most
you're not,
people
you're
think
look,
about.
you look like a fit guy.
I mean, my double chin's not so bad, but it's there. Either way, no, I have a special. I'm unique, and that's the worst thing to hear from your doctors. But I've heard that many a time. But no, there's something messed up with the electrical stuff in my heart that to sustain me, I'm gonna essentially need a pacemaker.
Wow.
Well,
On top of that, I already got the zipper scar on my heart. They've been in there already, and so it's like I've got the manliest scars. So I'm imagining I'm gonna get some more. But I'm most excited about having the card, because you get cards when you have pacemakers for like metal detectors and like
Yeah, that's
alarm
a,
stuff.
well, hell, that's a bonus. I
wait
mean,
to
exactly.
silver lining that
That's
one.
right. Ready to go.
Exactly.
You
You'd be
spun
like,
it well.
Be like, sir, are you robbing a CD from the record store? I'm like, no, card. Then I just walk off and set off every alarm I can with my little heart thumper.
I just keep thinking that skit with the Saturday Night Live skit, the Bears.
Doubles.
How many heart attacks is that there, Jake?
6.
6 heart attacks. Way to go, Jake.
You
How
are
old are you?
nailing that.
Doubles.
That voice.
Doubles.
Use guys.
Is
I
it-
lived in Chicago for a couple years.
Who would win, Hurricane or Coach Dicka?
Dicka.
Well, the Hurricane is Hurricane
Is
Dicka.
up. That's a toss up there. That's a toss up there, Jake.
There's
Oh,
nothing
brother.
funny than a podcast about people doing someone else's jokes.
Exactly.
Hey,
Hey.
that's a
Wait,
good
hold on.
episode.
But hold on, intern Jake, you were also given part of your adventure week was watching Point Break. Did you watch
Oh.
it?
No, I didn't get around to it.
If you
Because
had-
you were in the hospital.
I was too busy
if you hadn't
contemplating
just
life.
told us about your,
I was
well,
too busy contemplating life, man.
I would submit to you that Point Break is a very important part of life.
Almost as important as
I'll tell you
garbage
what.
disposal.
If
Yeah.
you better have a strong heart when you watch Point Break, it's that awesome.
I'm imagining
When-
this whole pit bull scene.
Okay, when Bodie jumps out of the airplane, not Bodie, when
Special Agent
Special
Utah.
Agent Jody,
Johnny
Utah, Bodie jumps. I'm going to ruin it for you. Bodie jumps out of the airplane with a parachute. Special Agent Johnny Utah
always gets his man.
does not have a parachute, but he wants to get his man. He jumps out and goes after him. That I didn't have a heart condition, but I think I felt a little something at that point in time.
Some
So
pre-excitations.
you need to probably get a clearance from your doctor in a note, and then we will clear you to go watch Point Break.
This is my final
fair.
pitch for why you need to watch Point Break. There's a part of the movie where they're preparing to rob a bank, and Bodie, he puts on his dead president's mask, and he goes, "Let's rock and roll," and they run out, and they go robbing and plundering.
Robbing.
plundering.
Robbing?
They're stealers.
They're stealers. Yeah.
They're stealers. They're
and they
stealing
rob the
things.
bank. And the way he says, "Let's rock and roll," when I was a junior, it was one of my high school years, it was so awesome to me.
One of the years you were a junior.
Junior.
One of the years I was a junior.
Junior, senior, I can't remember. Maybe my sophomore year. I don't know when it came out. That fired me up so much that we went up to jump off some cliffs into some water. And there was one cliff that was like, we call it the roof because it was on top. It was the highest, and we were all kind of afraid of it. And a bunch of us guys climbed up there, and we sat up there on top looking off of it forever, scared. And I literally, I stood up, I walked a few feet away from it, and I went, "Let's rock and roll!" And I ran and jumped off the cliff. First one, dislocated my
man.
shoulder, sprained both my ankles.
Man, sounds like a typical cliff jumping story, and much more exciting than the yard work adventure.
I just didn't.
I don't
it's
know.
cold. I didn't jump.
Chainsaw, though.
I know.
Anything with chainsaw, even if it's one of those little ones at the end of a really long stick. You know.
That's not a chainsaw, really.
Exactly, but even if you said
there's
chainsaw,
no
it's
danger
fine.
involved with that. Matt, hold on. When was how old were you when your dad first told you to go use a chainsaw?
The summer between 7th and 8th grade.
That's insane. That's like living in Alaska insane.
Yeah.
Driving tractors when you're young.
I don't
insane.
even think I had razor blades to shave my peach fuzz when I was in 7th and 8th grade.
Well, let's do this. Let's bring this around.
I did.
You did?
I did. Yeah.
You-
But I also had a weird living situation. I mean, I lived on a semi.
He lived in
farm.
Alaska.
I lived in Alaska. Yeah, no,
All
but
right.
I was doing heavy equipment and stuff like that. I was actually driving like 710 backhoes and large construction equipment when I was
710.
about. It's the
Seven-
largest. It's the largest
811,
backhoe.
whatever it takes.
The 710 backhoe is the largest backhoe manufactured.
I'm going to say this, and I
no,
mean
So
this.
you were in like a copper pit.
no,
Because those are the biggest ones I've ever seen.
no, backhoe is the loader on the front, crane, excavator on the back. Not
right.
It's not just an excavator by itself. Those don't get super big like mine big. Those machines are huge.
I just want to say this. Logan has said very few words, but you already came in with a joke I can't top. And then your story about backhoes punished my story about a chainsaw.
Yeah.
I feel small.
I'm not even going to talk about it.
Wait, hold on.
I've done nothing.
4.5 months of podcasting.
Okay, hold on. I just want to clarify. Is your weekly adventure really mowing your lawn?
No. You want to hear my weekly adventure?
Yeah,
I wanted
think
you to
it's your
kill
turn.
something.
Right. So I thought about killing something. I wanted to kill something. And then I thought about how would the audience react if I actually killed something? Half of them would love it. The half that was awesome. And then the other half, who've yet to think that we're awesome, might be offended. That and the fact that I really didn't have an opportunity to kill something. But what I did do is I had an opportunity to dispose of a dead body.
A human dead body?
No, that would be even more awesome. And that would require me to call 5 of my friends. And if you don't know what that is, it's called the Dead Body Club. And it's a circle of 5 guys that you would call if you ever have to dispose of a dead body. Think, Jake, right now, who are 5 guys that you would call? Don't say them out loud because then it ruins it. Everyone has them. Everybody has it.
Yeah.
You have 5 guys that you know that if the worst stuff in the world happened, you could call these 5 guys and they would help you get rid of something. Let's say like a dead body.
Wow.
Logan, do you have 5?
Yeah, I have 5.
Okay. Are they in the room?
No.
Well, you know what? You're not on my 5 either.
I mean, to be fair,
You mean not in your 4 now?
to be fair, I'm not surprised they're not on anybody's list. So,
All right.
Yeah, no, these
That
are
sounds
guys
ominous.
that should not know any of my other friends.
yeah, that was my
Do
point.
they know
It's
each other? Because my 5 friends, I think, know each other.
I don't even think that my 5 know all of the others that I would call in that situation.
Well, I think how much thought have you put into this? Is this your first time thinking who would I call to kill?
No, because
think about it a
It's
lot.
one of those discussions where it's like, what would you do on the island, sort of thing, where you're bored and you throw out these
Kill
odd
Piggy.
spitballs.
That's what I do.
Kill the big
Kill
pig.
Piggy. You spitball ideas like
It's gonna-
that. And
here's
so
the thing with Kill
this
Piggy.
has come
It's
up
going to
before.
happen anyway because that's the way things work. Piggy's going to die. Just get it over with and then start building a shelter.
But have you ever done you put together your bank robbery team and assign? Have you ever had that discussion before?
Yeah.
Who
no.
you would take on a bank robbery and what they would do?
Bodie.
Oh, this sounds like a
amen.
less cool
The whole crew.
dead body
Bodie.
crew.
Dead presidents. For sure. For sure.
All right, what body?
Oh, right. So we had a friend who's when I say friend, I mean an older person that I know.
Who died?
No, their dog died.
Oh.
Yeah,
I
their
don't
dog
care.
died, and so they called me up, and I took a buddy of mine, and we went and grabbed the dog, and actually it was my buddy. He said, let's go to these old people's house and claim this dog. And well, anyway, I didn't know how big the dog was. And so we had like a 5-pound bag, like a little small sack to put this dog in. Well, the dog is a 15-pound dog. So that's not going to work from the get-go. And so we have this dead dog, and it's still warm, and it's late at night. And what do you do with that? What do you do with it?
You dig a hole in the backyard, don't you?
I would think
I
so
don't own
too,
a
but they
dog.
lived in an apartment, and it was a nasty apartment. And I
Dumpster.
thought, you know what? Dumpster. Why don't we just throw it in their dumpster? But I thought, well, what if somebody's dumpster diving in there? Because more than likely it's going to happen. And they find a dead dog body, and it gets back to them.
Dinner. Oh,
Take the collar off.
That would be. It didn't have a collar. It didn't have a collar.
Then how is it going to get back to them?
You never know. It's a small apartment complex. Things are going to happen. So we drove around. Let me just tell you the quick
Okay,
story.
go on.
We drove around looking for a dumpster. Well, it turns out a lot of dumpsters are locked.
Mm-hmm.
And we even contemplated burying the body. But it was raining, and neither one of us really wanted to get out of the car and get wet. So
Is the dog in the car?
was in the back of the truck.
Okay.
So anyway, we look around
hold
for
on. Can we
dumpsters.
pause real quick? I think we just nailed something important in your circle of 5 people that dispose of a body. Someone needs a truck
Someone needs a truck.
or a sizable trunk.
The first guy that came to my head has a
okay,
truck.
go on.
And
Go on with
tools?
your story.
And tools.
And well, everyone has tools.
Well, you never know. Some people do, some people don't. So anyway, we found we went to a couple different places. Some dumpsters are locked, by the way, and some have security cameras, which you're not going to dump a dead dog body at a place with a security camera. So we went to another apartment complex. I don't even know if this is legal. To be real honest,
You've
it's not.
never used your
it's
last
not
name.
So you know what?
Yeah, no one knows your last name.
It was either me or is a friend of mine. For the
Nice
point
backpedal.
of this story.
Nice
It's either a friend,
backpedal.
me or a friend of mine. Anyway, my suggestion was we pretend that we're going to visit somebody, and then we walk back out with we have a bigger bag, and we just throw it in the dumpster and leave. And he said, you know what, I'll just throw it in the dumpster. So there were some people in the parking lot that we happened to be in, and as he went over to the dumpster and opened up the lid with the dead dog in his hand, I just laid on the horn. Just laid on the horn. And everyone's looking, and he's looking over, and he throws the dead body in there, and he runs back, and he just started beating on me. And so, that I didn't really kill anything, but we had a good
That's
time.
a good story.
I feel like that's a
Nonetheless.
solid continuation of last week's tale.
That is.
You didn't dispose of a mouse, rat mouse.
I just put that in actually a Ziploc bag and threw it away. in my own dumpster. So wait, hold on. If you're saying it's illegal for this person, whoever it was, it's illegal for them to dispose of a dog body, but you can get rid of a rat body. Well, it was a rat then that I disposed of this week. It was a large rat.
15-pound rat.
It was a 15-pound rat is what we got rid of.
That knew how to fetch.
It maybe. And they may or may have not have named it something cute.
I don't want to talk about dogs for too long,
Buttons.
but they lived in an apartment with a 15-pound dog.
Yeah, it was about 15 pounds.
Is that a big dog?
It's about 15 pounds. It's not too big. You know what? I
15
didn't have
pounds is
a
not that
fish
big.
scale.
You're
and
talking dachshund-sized dog.
No,
Okay,
it was a
that's fine.
20-pound dog.
Okay.
Rat.
So beagle.
Yeah,
It was a rat dog.
a
Is
wiener
really what
dog.
it was.
It was
Okay.
an ROUS.
So,
Fair.
Zing.
All right.
all right, well, that's our adventures.
So I think
Yeah.
our adventures this week,
I
well,
think-
they didn't work out so well.
No, they didn't. But you know what? You have to start somewhere.
Yeah.
I would contend I had quite the adventure.
You edited our podcast.
It was quite entertaining.
Lots of
Well,
blood
good.
and sweat.
Yes.
Good.
Solid.
Second thing on our list today, we're going to talk about some. Let's hit right into parenting. You had some. You had something that came up.
I did. So I don't want to this turn into a preachy thing because I don't want to focus on that. But I have my daughters. I mentioned that last week, and we were saying prayers. We pray with our kids. I think everyone in this room probably prays. I don't know, but
Not with your daughters.
not
but
with my daughters.
Nope.
But my 3-year-old farted during her prayer,
That's the best.
and
Barriers.
that's hilarious. And I found out that's when real parenting happens, and I failed because that's funny stuff. I couldn't stop laughing. And
You should. You should laugh.
She stopped her prayer, and she goes, "Dad, I farted." And I was like, "I know," and it's hilarious. And my wife, God bless her, she tried to hold her tongue, but even she couldn't stop laughing. And I just thought, I don't know if this is a complete failure of us as parents, giggling mid prayer because of a fart. But it happened.
No, it's
And I
perfect.
don't regret it. Well, and
Awesome.
here's why I don't regret it. Everybody thinks their kids are cute. I have a cute kid. She's real cute. My fear is that she'll be...
Do you hold on time, Jake? Right there in the middle of prayers. Do you think people with ugly kids they have to know they're ugly, right?
No, people with ugly kids are blind.
No, they have to know.
Taylor and I were at a park a few weeks ago. We were playing at the park, and some other little girl came up, and they were playing. This girl was broke, and she was 6. They started playing, and this lady walks up, and she was like, "Man, your daughter is so cute." And her daughter was broke. She was all
Broke? You mean just butt ugly?
Well, she just maybe she'll grow out of it, but she had just like a jacked up grill.
Have you
like-
seen people really grow out of it?
No,
They just grow into it more.
they just get better.
You know what
at-
I mean?
I've seen some grow out of it. I've seen some kids that just have adult features when they're younger that aren't cute, but then like come puberty, you're like, that forehead kind of works on you now
Right, with
Well-
that hat.
with that hat and those 3 teeth coming straight at me.
But she was an ugly kid.
See, we changed you. You're like, oh, broke, and that was a nice word, but now you're just like,
Well, I don't know
it's
if
an
I would
ugly
even classify
kid.
that as a broken. Is that a nice word for it? I mean, let's just be honest. It's not politically correct to call someone's kid.
We're so
ugly.
worried about political correctness
Yeah,
here.
You're never gonna get
Yeah, and
reelected.
the reality is, you just gotta own it. Like there's
Own
no-
their ugliness?
No. Own the fact that you can't be politically correct about this issue. There's no way of explaining that a kid has, features that are not attractive without being unpolitically correct.
Quickly, ugliest actress you've ever seen on the movie screen.
The chick who was in Dark Knight. What's her name?
Anne Hathaway?
No.
Oh,
no,
you
no.
mean the
Number
bad
2.
girl?
No, not Anne Hathaway. The number 2 one, she replaced Katie Holmes. Gyllenhaal.
Gyllenhaal.
Oh, Gyllenhaal.
Wait, hold on.
I agree.
What?
What have you seen?
I don't think she's that attractive.
Have you seen
No, we're
Throw
not
Mama
saying-
from the Train?
Exact. Damn it! You just took my thing.
Oh,
you
did I
just,
really?
You stole my Owen. Owen,
That's not fair. No, hold on.
Mama needs something. Owen.
Did you say women, girls, or like
I
monster?
said women.
Because that's not a woman in Throw Mama from the Train.
She's also in Goonies.
She
is
is.
in Goonies.
She is. That's
she
Mama
nails
Fratelli.
it.
Right?
You know the name?
I know the Fratellis only because there's a band
my
called the
God.
Fratellis.
Hold on, real quick. a girlfriend of mine, an old girlfriend from way back in the day, she told me one day, she goes, I memorized Goonies. And I was like, no, you didn't. And she goes, no, I memorized it. And I was like, prove it.
Pinches of power.
We went and rented it. Her and her brother, when they were younger, bought the screenplay. We turned the movie on. This girl knew every word. We watched the entire movie, and she did it word for word. It was
Sad.
All right, what's your favorite scene
It
from
was
Goonies?
sad.
his favorite scene. That's
Anyone can jump in. Have everybody seen Goonies except for Jake, who's probably it's on his list of things he hasn't seen before?
Hey, oh, come on, you guys. Do the truffle shuffle.
That's
my favorite
but
part. The truffle
I
shuffle.
love when Chunk smells ice cream.
He smells ice
When he
cream.
goes, I smell ice cream, and he runs into the freezer.
That's funny.
And then, or no, I take
I
that
like
back.
it when he's telling
When
the
he's
story
all,
about when he's telling his bar story.
Yeah, that-
and then the guy's like, "I love this kid. That's awesome."
And then, when he talks about going to fat camp and eating all the.
So anyway, that's Goonies. She's an ugly woman.
I've got one that a lot of
Can
people
you?
just
You can beat that.
I
Don't be that. Don't be.
no.
I can beat everything guy. You've already
No.
got.
I
You've
don't
already
thi- I
got
don't-
the name of
Well,
Jake.
I'm
for
having
today.
a hard time picturing who you're talking about. I know the scene and I know the voice. I'm trying to
Okay.
picture the girl.
I feel bad.
Picture vomit
Yeah.
with hair.
Picture
Well,
vomit.
no, and a lot of people disagree with me on this one. I don't
But she's
think
talented.
I
Don't
think-
get me wrong. If I ever see her, she's a very talented actress. She's probably dead.
I think Helena
But-
Bonham Carter is pretty ugly.
Who-
I think
she
she's
has-
pretty ugly.
who-
what
is
did she
that?
do?
Helen
she
Bonham
was
Carter, she plays Crazy Lady
she plays
in
she
What
was
does that
every
mean?
movie.
She, yeah,
She plays
she is
Harry
the crazy
Potter.
lady.
Harry
She
Potter.
was
She's the crazy lady.
she was the
Les
pie
Mis.
maker in.
Did she
in
kill
Sweeney
Sirius
Todd?
Black?
Todd?
Yeah, yeah,
She killed Sirius Black?
yeah.
Yeah,
that's
that's
Helen
the
Bonham
one-
Carter.
That,
Yeah.
well,
She-
we know her as the gal who killed Sirius Black.
I
She-
don't.
the guy
I've
who-
seen Harry Potter 1 and 7, not by choice either one of them. So I don't know who this lady is.
Fight Club.
She was also in
Fight Club. I don't remember that.
Okay,
but
she's
she
crazy lady
you
in
saw
that one.
you saw Les Mis, and she was the innkeeper's wife in Les Mis.
She stole
She's not
stuff.
that ugly.
Yeah, I think she is. I think
She's
she-
not that. You have not seen Throw Mama from the Train. Well, this lady, your stuff won't work for a while.
Oh, man.
I'm just telling you.
Okay.
You know what?
I'm just. You're talking about
feel-
somebody who's not a mainstream actor, though, right?
She
was
was
in Throw Mama
mainstream.
from
She's in
the
Throw
Train
Mama from
and
the Train
Goonies.
and Goonies. Echo.
Okay, when were those movies made?
ORV. Bullet holes.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. So
Has
my
to be the
point is,
same.
I'm thinking contemporary actors and actresses, and she's not. And so if you look at actresses now, somebody that might show up at the Golden Globes yesterday, Helena Bonham Carter, she's one of them, and I don't think she's attractive at all.
See, here's what I feel bad with, because I think she's like, she can totally be like, I understand what you're saying, but like, I think it's just compared to like the movie stardom of like, they have to be so attractive. Like, I'm
Sure.
sure if she walked in today, I'd be like, yeah, she was okay. And I feel that way about
Helen?
No, I
Bonham
think
Carter.
I think
Helen-
her
Helen
hair
Longman.
makes her look like a witch. Period. Like,
But
I don't.
even at
I've
that-
never.
How? Hold on. What year were you born?
I was born in '90.
It was Goonies is older than you.
Yeah, but I've still seen it.
Therefore, his
but I'm
opinion's invalid?
Yeah, I'm talking about a contemporary.
I hear something,
When-
but I don't really see what the point of listening to this is. But
Okay.
no,
Well,
go ahead.
move
Billy.
on.
We're playing. We're
Hey,
playing.
We're-
there's a reason why
That's
I let
fine.
you guys talk.
No, we're
That's
playing.
fine. You know
But
what?
anyway, that's who I think is
Hold
the
on.
ugliest woman.
You know
Do
what?
you have something to top?
We
that?
need to Google Mama Fratelli and see what she looked like when she was in her young days, and like,
Oh, she
She-
never grew out of it.
She
Yeah,
actually-
Those
She's
were her-
actually born at
those
80
were
years
her
old.
young
Yeah.
days.
I think her name is something Button.
You're kidding.
Benjamin Button's mom.
Oh man, that's rough.
I don't know.
Whatever. Any more ugly kid comments?
No, where were we?
Over
Intern
under
Jake.
kids.
Oh wait, hold on, real quick. Yeah, I wanna
More
finish,
ugly kid
I want to
stuff.
finish that. So this gal said, "Oh my goodness, your kid is so cute," and I didn't want to lie, so I looked this lady right in the eye and said, "Man, your daughter, she's awesome. She just came right up and started playing. That's great."
Redirect.
Redirect, and I don't know if that made it work. I don't know if that was made
No, you know.
Did you just
do
lie?
That, you do that all the time, like in soccer and whatnot, and sports. When somebody goes, your kid's really good. They can kick the ball far, and you're just like, your kid runs kind of fast.
Oh.
There's no quitting your kid.
Your
Wait.
kid can just eat oranges awesomely.
Wait, so you guys are just trying to find a compliment to return, or are you trying to instill in your kids that they're nothing special by agreeing with them?
That's really too much for me to think of. No,
Well,
I'm just
what-
trying to not.
Well, hold on.
Okay.
I'm trying to.
I'm trying to understand the basis of why you couldn't just go, yeah, my kid is cute, and you had to like make a comment.
No,
about their
you
kid.
always have to say something nice back.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
you're not-
That's a
yeah.
parent thing.
Yeah,
Okay.
you'll
It's just
Well,
Because I feel like I'm just going to agree with people who say things to me and walk away.
you're just doing that so your heart doesn't explode.
Yeah, you think that
When
now?
you have guys who have good hearts, we can just say stuff like this.
that's now a thing.
Yes, it is a thing now. Jake's heart is now part of the show. I'm sorry about that, but it's just so
I'm
awesome.
going to name my heart. I'm going to find a name for him to use.
Jake
We'll refer to it.
Jr.
Little Jake.
I'm so bad at nicknames.
Yeah, seriously, you should
Logan?
not be speaking first.
Logan, give Jake's heart a name. You're pretty good at
Give a
this.
good first name for my heart. Kevin.
Don't worry, I'm going to Kevin.
not Kim Jong.
No, well, yeah, it's kind of like it was perfectly placed because it was topical. Kim Jong Il was topical at the time that
All
I
right,
brought
you
it
don't.
up.
You got nothing, is what you're
Yeah,
saying.
no
Yeah,
juice.
so like at this point, you're kind of just trying to say pull something out of a hat. We got to get into this.
Okay.
It's got to be natural for it to be really funny.
Don't worry, we'll make a segment about my heart next time.
That's
I
all right. Okay,
suppose.
so you were saying?
Ugly kids? Any
Ugly
more to talk
kids.
about that? 'Cause
No, no,
I mean,
well,
unless
you
you
were
want me to call it the ugly heart. I mean, that's where we're at right now.
Francis. That's an ugly kid name.
We're not talking. Your heart's probably a beautiful thing, really. So we'll come up with something really
Not-
pretty.
I have
I'm calling
pictures.
it.
don't
I'm
know.
calling it Kevin. I thought Kevin.
We
Kevin's
just
a
need
good
some.
one.
We need like a defective name. What's like a something?
Harold.
You know what? Hold on. What's that one? Lucas.
Lucas.
Corey.
If you've seen the movie Lucas, that was hilarious.
Your heart is now named Lucas.
Lucas. All
Why don't
right.
we name it Lupus?
Lucas. It's
no,
never Lupus.
It's not Lupus. It's Lucas.
Well,
Whatever.
that's the end of my ugly kid.
All right, back to your prayer
Oh,
part comment.
well, I do have this to say. So I'm afraid that my kid, I think she's cute. I really do. I genuinely think she's a cute kid. I think most people do.
And she's going to grow up conceited because she's around so much positive support.
No, I don't care about that at all. My fear is that she'll grow up and be good looking.
that's your fear?
horrible.
If she can be fat
She'll
and ugly,
get free stuff.
if she
That's
can be fat and ugly
horrible.
through high school, then
She'll be
slim
cool.
down and go to college
That'd be cool.
and go to college
She'll have
hot.
self-esteem.
That's great. But yeah, I don't.
So,
yeah.
so what you're saying is you just don't want to deal with the high school dating situation.
I don't know.
They're-
why.
I
Yeah.
agree. I don't want a hot high school child.
Oh, man.
Well, what I've chosen to do is like when she farted during the prayer, I'm never going to teach her that farting is socially awkward. Because even if she's good looking, but if she's the kid who farts all the time,
Yeah.
in high school people are like she's the farting kid, and I'll be like,
That's
yeah,
like a,
and
it's like
that'll
a chastity belt.
yeah,
right
it'll be like a
there.
deterrent.
Yeah.
and then she'll graduate from high school, and I'll be like, your graduation present is this, Taylor. Stop farting all the time.
That's Stinky Taylor. Stinky Taylor.
Yeah, and then she'll go off to
That girl
college.
farts all the time.
Yeah, then she'll
Taylor
go off
toots
to
a lot.
college and she'll stop farting and she'll marry some guy who can appreciate.
under her yearbook thing, to be something like Taylor blah blah blah. Pull my finger.
Well, I'm not saying it's a perfect plan. I'm just saying
Not every plan's perfect.
I coach high school kids, boys
Yeah.
and girls, and I got to have some plan.
All right.
And this is what I got so far.
Well,
Better than nothing.
she's still young, so I mean, you can revise your plan. I think it's nice to have older, good-looking kids, just because my kids are good-looking.
Did
Yeah.
they fart?
They do, but only not around their mom, around me. But our youngest does. She thinks it's hilarious.
Nice.
But the older ones just they usually
Cork it.
yeah, no, they don't. Mom doesn't really go for that, as they shouldn't, and I teach them not to do that around mom. So, I have a parenting thing real quick. My youngest, Sarah, got invited to go to a dance lesson thing put on by the local high school cheerleaders, their dance team. And so she goes over, and my wife, I guess, went with her because I got this story secondhand. But they came home, and she said, my wife was telling me that the song that they're going to be dancing to, now this is 5-year-olds and up to 10-year-olds. And after they learn their routine, they're going to go to a high school basketball game. And at halftime, they're going to dance, which will be exciting for them. But they have to learn the routine. So these high school girls thought it would be awesome to teach them dance moves, and she showed me some of the dance moves. And the only thing was missing from this routine is a pole. It was scary, and then they're dancing to. Here's the song. I wrote it. Even wrote it down. I'm sexy and I know it.
Which I don't think anybody needs to know. Like, everybody knows that song.
I think.
Did you want me to play it so people can hear it?
Sure.
Okay, I'll pull it up real quick.
Oh, so while you're pulling it up, my 9-year-old, my 8-year-old actually goes to my wife. She's like, "Mom, that song is inappropriate. There's kindergartners here." So
That's where the line
to,
is.
to preface the song, though, YouTube actually has a warning that comes up that warns you and says you need, just so you know, content you need to accept to watch this video. That's
On
the
that
So you have to
song?
sign in.
You actually have to sign in and accept to watch it
For the music video.
for the music video.
Oh, okay, that's
I've
understandable.
never seen the video.
It's a lot of dicks.
Wow.
That's really all it is.
Um,
Do you want to watch it? I can turn it so you can see it.
No.
You're going to show us a video of those? Sorry, no, I'm good.
Everybody would knows this song.
I pick to the beat, walking down the street and my new the freak, yeah. This is how I roll, animal print pants out control.
I gotta tell you, I never knew the video was inappropriate, but I actually like the song.
Yeah, everybody loves the song.
Girl, look at that body. Girl, look at that body.
Now,
I'll work it out.
Girl, look at that
well, you
Do you though?
yeah.
So I
No,
think
of
you
course
know
not.
the song.
Well,
It's-
get to the
actually like
tag,
that.
get to the thing, get to the
Oh.
what is it? The hook? What's it called? I'm not a music guy. The
When
hook?
the beat drops,
Here it goes.
I'm sexy and I know it.
Now I can see where that would be kind of a fun beat, but
No, it is actually a great beat. It's a great dance beat. It's really easy to do. It's a really pronounced bass line. It's really, really good for a club situation.
well, here's the thing. So on top of that, when I watch TV and I come to like a reality show where I watch a lot of the reality shows where guys are like doing construction work, or they're chopping things, or they're killing crabs, or they're doing something, and it's constant beeping, beep beep beep, and my wife hates that. She hates it. She's like, "Wow, you're watching this stupid show, it's beeping," and I get a bunch of crap about that. Turns out, though, it's okay for my daughter to dance to that,
Yeah.
but I can't in my own me as a 40-some-year-old man, I can't listen to some beeping.
Yeah, just
like that's
beeping.
inappropriate.
I'm glad you said 40 something. Like you don't know the actual.
well, then nobody
number.
really needs to know. There needs to be a guess that there's
Yeah.
4
we got
more
Logan's
extra
age.
years.
What year were you born in, Roy?
68,
Math. Okay.
44.
Well, they actually, I saw a routine of a similar age group at a Kings game here in Sacramento.
By
and
who? Older people?
No,
Older
no, it was
girls?
the
Or
same age group, same little
But the
kids.
King's dancers, and you're like, you know
No,
what?
it wasn't
you
the-
are.
It was not the
Yep.
Kings. It was not the Kings dancers. It was a youth group of some sort. But
Probably
it
a
was
church group.
Yeah.
I don't know. But it was actually
It was anonymous.
It was size Gangnam Style mixed with Sexy and I Know It, but it made people uncomfortable sitting there watching the kids do it, because I know exactly what you're talking about. It's really
Here's
really
the
common.
thing. Were they like dressed all in black? 'Cause I think
not all of it.
What game was it? Who played?
Prove it.
I
The
don't
Heat.
remember. No, I don't
played
think
the
it was
Heat, yeah.
All right, because
Knicks.
when we were there, we saw some dancers as well, and I think everyone thinks the same thing. They're like, they see those songs, they see those girls dancing, and you go, who
let their kid use this?
What kind of parent is this? Well, it
Yeah.
turns out that parent is me, because my kid's going to be doing that at halftime.
Welcome to the club.
Because you don't know.
Well,
And
now
the
I
majority
know, but what
don't
am I
know.
gonna what am I gonna do now? I'm gonna say, "Oh,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, you can't do that." And now they're crying, and I'm doing
I-
something on my mic here, but they're gonna be upset. I'm just gonna let them do it. I'm like, I'm gonna justify like everyone does. They're gonna go, they don't know what they're saying.
It's a much bigger problem than I think people realize.
Yeah, you know what I'm pissed. I just go, you know what, high school girls, you have poor judgment.
I think the world
You
can
and-
agree with that.
No, I think my world just shattered.
I go,
High school girls have poor judgment.
I know that's the funny part. I go. This is the other thing. I go.
Wait, hold on.
You know what?
No, wait, hold on. Thank you for pointing out the funny part.
I know.
I
Captain
had missed
Obvious.
it.
So the other thing I say constantly is your leaders suck. You high school cheerleader, whoever's in charge. What's the poobah's name of their head cheerleader lady?
The instructor.
Instructor lady. She sucks.
Coordinator.
Coach.
She sucks. Hey, how do you even let? How do you? That's horrible.
Here's the issue, though, with any quote-unquote talent that kids are developing. The earlier you start them off, the better. I mean, if they were guitar players, how old's your little girl?
8.
If I had 8-year-old guitar students learning guitar, they would blow your mind by the time they were
Yeah, but-
adult and professional age. So I'm saying, little football players start in little league, so these little girls
But
who
this
will
is-
eventually
I'm
be
not talking
women
about
dancing.
that. I'm not talking about the overall. I don't
Yeah.
care about them starting early. I'm talking about them choosing that crap
Yeah.
to play. Of all the songs. Well, apparently all songs suck.
Well, I mean, one of the things is it's just
'Cause I don't have
it's
an
super
alternative.
popular. It's super popular. It's current music, but by the music standards, it's gone down a lot.
Got it.
Well, still,
that's
I'm
just the
imagining
reality.
that whatever high school leader picked it for the high school goods, they're like, oh, the little kids want to dance with us. Let's just have them learn routine number B.
Yeah, that's fine. And you know what? That's
And
what
probably
happens.
what happened.
But you know what?
Yeah.
Are you the lady who's in charge? She probably used to be a bubblehead cheerleader too. So I
Yeah.
mean, what do you expect?
Bubbles.
Yeah. She probably takes time off from whatever pole that she's usually dancing on, and then comes and instructs these people, and it's just like, you know what? I'll just bring something from work for you guys to dance to.
Well, it's so contradictory for me because I was in some acting and performance stuff when I was in high school, and one of the things that we needed to do, and I know you want to just
I'm not
hold
going to
it back.
say. I'm not
Hold
going to
it
say
back.
anything.
You were in high school?
I could see the this body movement of prepping some good
No,
comeback. It's okay.
no. Go ahead. I didn't know that. I didn't.
Yep.
I didn't know that.
Yep.
I didn't know that Brokeback Mountain was a high school production. I don't know.
Yeah. So when I was in high school though, have you guys ever heard the song "Ain't No Rest for the Wicked" by KT the Elephant? Are you
Yes.
familiar with? I'm sure Jake knows the song.
I do. Yeah, I know
If-
it, yeah.
Here, I'll play it in a
Money
second.
don't
You'll
grow
as
on
soon as you
trees.
hear it, you'll
You
recognize
had this song ready. This is a prep.
He's good.
It's just that he navigates the computer so much.
I didn't
more
think he did last
efficiently.
time, but I gave him a 7 last time.
it. Do you recognize the song now?
Wait, the chorus,
I'm just-
man. I'm sure it's been on HBO commercials.
Yeah, this is like on a zombie movie or something.
Yeah, probably.
Yes, there are. So one of the assignments that we had for our performing arts classes was we had to take different songs and then put an actual scene together based on the song. And there was that one and another one, and I was actually told no, because of the content of what was in the song, I would not be allowed to do it. It was a suggestion by one of the group members that was part of it, and so it's very surprising how in one spectrum of performing arts they will be very conscientious of the content and what the song says and such. But in others, especially when it comes to the cheerleading and such, it seems like all these inhibitions go away. And frankly, like the level of bad content, if you want to call it that, between the two songs is very, very, it's like drastically different. Because the one is telling of a story.
Were you air grinding during your performance on stage?
I was. Right before we did
Jiminy
Brokeback
Christmas.
Mountain.
I was going to say, all right, honestly, were you air grinding?
No.
Isn't that funny? You guys just said, you're right. There's totally two standards.
Yeah, absolutely two standards.
You could just go. You can't do anything, and that the cheerleaders can just
Yeah.
air grind.
Well, I
don't
think
even know how else to call it other
I think
than
it's
air
even.
grind.
I think it's even
Just
worse
sounds
than
worse.
this, though, because I think it's a double standard for men in general, especially. Women can do whatever they want to act like sluts and be slutty in the songs and the music and whatever. But the minute we recognize it as being such, we are perverts. And that's part of what makes it so uncomfortable.
And yet we have perverted restaurants.
Right. It's like very
Hooters.
strange. It's
Right?
we can't
It's
do
big
these
business.
things.
There's no
when-
duders.
no tutors. Well, if you watch the video, you have perfect candidates for a place called Duders.
Hold on, real quick. I just want to say something because I haven't talked for a while.
And it is a Roy and Matt show.
Valid point.
Duders doesn't trump Kim Jong-shik, but you're getting close.
Ooh, I'm climbing the mountain.
Carry on.
Climbing
So-
the mountain.
But my point is that we feel entrapped in these situations where, and especially when you start getting little kids into it, it's like you're using songs that are provocative and inappropriate for kids of any age before they're adults to be dancing like that to. And it's bad enough when we ogle adult women dancing to these songs. You want to put kids in front of us, and,
Hold
and
on.
that's just disgusting. Where is the double standard? It's a huge double standard.
I want to actually have another point to make. When you just said entrap, the first thing that popped in my mind was when Catherine Zeta-Jones slides under the wire in entrapment and her butt's in the
It's
air.
a laser.
And
Is it a
she
laser?
does that during
It's a
practice. She
laser.
does that during practice with the strings.
Oh, it's strings.
and
Still not a
and I
wire.
feel like
that
wrong.
song,
I
I'm
feel
sexy
like
and I
I'm
know it should be
proving
playing.
you right by having that pop in my brain.
Yes, exactly.
Darn it.
We hate when Logan's proved right.
I heard entrapment.
Worst
and
thing ever.
Logan keeps winning the pod. The three of us need to come up and.
I thought of Sean Connery when I heard entrapment.
Oh,
Okay, I guess we're learning things about ourselves.
Nambla. Go ahead. What? I think we're done with this.
Yeah, no
very
whole
thing.
concept.
Here's what I
Well,
want.
you should
Here's what I want
probably
to talk about.
conclude.
I do have a take. I do have a conclusion.
Conclude.
Here's my conclusion. And this may or may not be a satisfying conclusion to that,
Yes.
but when you were talking about reality shows,
Yes.
I saw an episode of the Deadliest Warrior recently.
Oh my gosh, I totally missed the Deadliest Warrior.
Have you guys seen this show?
Have you guys seen
No,
Deadliest
what's
Warrior?
this about?
Yeah,
my
yeah.
gosh.
my
It's cool.
gosh.
It's this show.
We need older people who watch more.
I said I
TV.
watch it.
No, see,
Good
it's
man.
not my age. I just
'Kay,
I
listen.
have standard
It's not.
TV.
It's not
We-
your age. It was on like 2 years ago.
Not
What? But on what? I'd
Spike.
standard TV. If it's
Spike.
not on the what is it?
It's on
31.
It's
58,
on YouTube.
10 or 13.
Or
Well, I think it was
Netflix,
also-
or
TV's like a write-off for you now.
No, I think it was also on
Cable is a
Discovery Channel.
write-off.
I think
Whatever.
Deadliest Warrior was also on Discovery too.
It was so bad that it had to be on a bunch of different
Yeah.
oh my
networks.
gosh, this show. We got to talk about it when we could do a long.
Okay,
like,
here's the thing.
dive
We're
into
going to
it.
come
We'll
back
save
to it,
it.
but you have got to find YouTube, whatever. You got to find some episodes. What was a funny one that we saw?
You've got to watch the episode that has
Hulu Warrior,
Hulu, the Zulu.
Zulu Warrior,
the Zulu one.
the Zulu Warrior.
The
against,
Zulu one's funny.
against
Well, here's what they do for the intern.
William. It was against the William Wallace.
Yeah.
Zulu Warrior
pick,
against William
they
Wallace.
pick warriors from different time
Oh, yeah, that's
periods,
right.
and they have them like
Fight,
fight.
and then they have scientific
and
proof.
They also have pseudo fights too, where they like kick the bags and
Yes.
do all this other stuff and
No,
like
Those
break
are
human
tests.
legs.
That's like proofs.
But the best one to me is when
How we're doing it, aren't we?
is
Yep.
when
A little bit.
okay, we're go watch Deadliest Warrior. We'll talk
You know
about it
what?
next week.
This needs to be a segment of what Jake needs to watch. It's just a regular
All right,
part.
so we got a list of stuff that you need to then watch because
Yeah.
here's some other reality stuff.
Oh, man.
Are you guys reality TV show fans?
Once in a while.
Okay, top name Jake. Name 5. Hold on, 5. What am I asking? That's like way too many.
Yeah.
Jake, name. Hold on, let me give you something in your
Start with
realm.
Logan.
Jake, give me something you can do. 2 reality shows that you know about.
That are current?
Whatever.
Who cares?
Oh, just in life. Survivor and The Amazing Race.
Survivor, okay. Amazing Race sucks. Go ahead.
I disagree. I
I've-
love Amazing Race.
I was gonna say Survivor because I
That's
dropped off
the-
in the later seasons. But the Survivor and then X Factor. I thought
X Factor.
It was the
That's like a American Idol spinoff. That's
It-
not a reality show.
Wait
That's
a
a, that's
second.
a
No, 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 no,
variety
you're-
show.
you're
to
think-
define a reality
you're
show.
thinking
Yeah.
you're thinking of the wrong thing. That's
no.
real.
Oh,
The old-
really?
the old-
I'm thinking of the wrong thing.
Are you thinking of where they had the
Whose name's on the show?
stunts that they had to
Fear
perform?
Factor?
No, but there was also X Factor, wasn't there?
No,
X Factor
no,
is-
X Factor.
Or
Or am I,
No.
or is it just Fear Factor? I
X
thought there
Factor's
was.
a
I thought there was
singing
two.
I was on the same page with you mentally, but you did say X Factor.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
No.
no, I thought that there was also one that was the X Factor where they were still doing the same shows that were basically identical on CBS and NBC.
I need the pen, Jake. I got one. I got to write down.
But yeah,
stop
so
clicking it.
yeah, Fear Factor was.
Fear Factor.
I mean, they're both older,
With Joey,
but I thought those were towards the
whatever
the
his
better
name
ones.
is.
But I mean, there's
no,
also
that one had the Fear
Chestnut.
Factor had Joe Rogan.
well, also
Joe
like
Rogan.
Big Brother. Like that was one of the first
one sucks.
big. That was one of the first big reality.
horrible.
TV
It was
shows,
it was
though.
Survivor, not Tropical.
Yeah.
All right, how about? Okay,
You notice that
let me
Survivor is
define it.
always an island now.
What?
as it should be.
As it should be. You're voted off the what? The peninsula.
Out of the tribe. You I thought it was great when they were doing it in the middle of the desert in Africa. That was kind of
no.
cool. Freaking lions coming up and eating people.
No, they weren't.
No, of course not. But it was
They weren't.
it was the idea.
Well, I can say this. I've never seen an episode of Survivor, but a few years ago they had live auditions for it in Sacramento. So I went down there to audition for it, and that was the funniest thing I've ever.
Well, tell us about it. Why was it funny?
Well, you stand in line for 47 hours with these people
Who loved the show.
who. Well,
Right.
there's-
I wasn't
fanatics.
with you. I wasn't with you. I've heard the story a number of
yeah,
times.
there's two distinct groups. There's the people who love the show, who are in Survivor garb, and they kept asking like, "Hey, what's your favorite season?" And they would just.
Right.
My buddy and I went, and they're like, "You've never seen it?" I'm like, "Nah, I've never seen it. Sorry," and they just would judge you.
Yep.
And then the other half are people who are just like fame whores, and they're like dressed to the nines, and they're just.
People you would see at American Idol.
Yeah, really, you were, and you wait in this line forever, and nobody wanted to talk to me and my buddy because we didn't know anything we were talking about, and so we just got to stand there in silence and listen to these people converse, and it brought me untold
Were
joy.
they saying like, "Oh, do you remember episode? I mean, season 7?" And,
Oh, yeah, and they were talking about,
Monica and Jeff
their
and
strategies.
and they were talking about their
I get on the
strategies,
show.
like, yeah, what would you do on the show? And I'm sitting there and I'm like,
Steal food.
I'd probably get kicked off the first
Stab
week.
everyone.
I just would steal food. But anyways,
It's
so-
like the people that shouldn't be on the show is the majority of
And you know
people
what?
that go up to those
and they're
shows.
and they're not
And they're
on
not.
the show.
but
So
I don't
they're doing pretty good.
for good reason.
I don't regret going though, because then people start talking about, well, what are you going to do in your audition? And I was just like, I don't.
So
even,
what do you do? I mean,
So
so
you
you
stand-
wait
you
in
stand
line. I
in
got
line.
that. So it's an endurance thing.
Yeah, and then they take your picture, which
You've seen some of those people on that show. So I mean, looks sometimes matter, and then sometimes.
I
not.
didn't make the show, so clearly I'm not good looking enough to get looks to get on the merit of my photograph.
Did you take your shirt off?
I forgot to.
You took his
Did you
pants off.
lift it?
Nope.
You didn't show anything?
No.
No, maybe
blew it.
something to improve.
But
on.
then you wait in another line and you get in front of these cameras and they've got, and these booths are set up with black sheets so you can hear everything, and there's probably 7, and you wait your turn, you go in line and you have 1 minute to do anything you want on camera to make them, want to pick you.
you know that the camera guy's just looking at some people and they're like, "Yep, the light's on. Go ahead. We're
Well-
recording." Nope.
Well,
Especially because it costs them.
we were
Every time
laughing.
they record something like that.
What does it cost them? It's digital. What does it cost them? I take
No,
like 7,000 pictures of the same thing because it's digital.
Do-
What's it costing them?
Do you want an actual answer?
No.
Or, okay. Didn't
I
think
do. I do.
Because in I want it to be whatever I think it is, which is 4 cents.
so. Okay.
And
It's
4
a lot
cents is
more-
overpaying.
lot more than
All right, do you want to know?
Yeah.
I want to know too.
Okay, so they're taking HD video when they do these recordings, and for every minute of HD video, it's going to be about 3 to 4 megabytes of data size. And so they have to buy, and they have to keep them stored, so they've got large hard drives that they are that record straight on, or the cameras record straight onto them, and they're expensive. They're specific types of hard drives built for those cameras. They're expensive. It's not.
Were there 7 HD cameras?
No.
I think that at this show there were like 6 handy cams and an iPhone.
But they're recording HD. It doesn't matter. Even a handy cam, it's still HD. It's still 1080p.
Can you imagine some guy's like, "Ah, damn, I would have gone on that show. The guy didn't have an HD camera though.
Well,
I would have
but
been on the show if that guy would have recorded me in HD."
The best part
That's
about
crap.
the audition,
I
though,
want
is,
to rerun.
is all these people. They clearly have things prepared, and I was woefully underprepared.
Did you have something written down?
No, I was dumb because I was sitting there and I was getting ready to go, and I was making jokes, talking to the guy who was like walking, like, okay, you guys come.
Your escort. What
Yeah.
do you, the guy, your waiter? Who's the guy that greets you at a restaurant? Intern Jake.
That's the
The Mater D.
Mater D.
yeah.
You're Mater D.
So I was making jokes with him, and he was pretty funny, and you always got to pal around with the least powerful person on the totem pole, and then this person went in front of
Gatekeeper.
me, and this guy, he probably got on the show. He just started screaming as loud as he could and slapping his face
What did he look like?
hard.
You look like hands.
Yeah, I don't.
He looked like ants.
He was a white
he
dude
was-
wearing camouflage.
You know what? That guy was on the show.
But I just remember he went right before me, and he was just screaming his face off and slapping himself, and I was just like,
How do you follow
can't
that?
follow that. Like, if that's what it takes,
Right.
I'm not Survivor material, so I don't even remember what I said. Probably something
You-
stupid. They had no
you
interest.
remember at least one thing. What's one thing you said? My name's Matt.
Yeah, I did say I'm Matt. Number 4712. I don't know. I'm trying to think. I don't know. I think I just said
What'd the guy say when you're done? What'd your maitre d' say? Maitre d'?
He just walks you up there and tells
The
you which booth to
concierge.
go into. The cameraman tells you when you're.
What'd the cameraman say?
He said you're done.
He went like this. Thanks.
Wow.
I was
Not a lot of feedback
I was
there,
their
huh?
4,000th person of the
You
day.
know, if you think it would have been awesome, you could have gone, "Hey, that was a good job." Didn't you? You told me that somebody said "good job" to you. I think that's what I'm trying to fish for.
Yeah, one guy told me. The maitre d' stopped me and he said, "Hey, you're pretty funny," because I was making jokes in line, and he goes, "Be funny on camera,
Oh,
and
that's
they'll
what it was.
recognize you." And it's hard to be funny after someone slaps himself and you're unconscious.
Right.
So I wasn't.
What's the funniest thing you've seen somebody going unconscious? I'm thinking of something right now. It's a YouTube video. A guy going unconscious. The funniest thing on YouTube. What am I thinking of? I don't know. Come on. He's got nunchucks.
Where he takes himself out in the jewels.
No.
Or
It's-
in the forehead.
Yeah.
Because I've seen somebody
No,
pass
no.
out from hitting themselves. in
Maybe
the
he
junk
doesn't
with
have nunchucks. I think he should have nunchucks. He's a African-American guy
Yes.
who does a backflip
The backflip.
that's not really an all-the-way done backflip.
He does a half backflip.
He does a half backflip, 3/4 backflip, catches the front, and then just knows. You've never seen this? It's like guys trying out for the toughest, like a
It's
tough
a kung
guy
fu movie.
kung fu
Yeah,
thing.
I think I've seen it.
You haven't.
I think I have.
Funniest thing of anybody getting knocked out ever.
And actually, just to clarify my previous statement, I was incorrect about the file size of video, the HD video.
Well, you didn't want to be called on that by all the listeners,
Nope,
did you?
I didn't. Because I didn't clarify.
So what was it?
It's actually close to about 90 megabytes per minute of raw video. That what I was saying that the 3 to 4 is produced when it's finally cleaned up and rendered.
No.
But raw video that you take with a camera, it could be up to 100 megabytes or more a minute in that HD level video. So that's
How
why.
much does a typical little drive that I put in my camera have?
Something like that. $15 to $30 depending on how. big it is.
No. How much
Oh.
how much megabytes?
Right now, it's going to be like 4, 8, 16, or 32
megabytes.
gigabytes.
Do me some math. I mean, how much?
Well, 1,000 megabytes are in a gigabyte.
So it's no big deal.
No, it is. When you're doing that many recordings and you're using specifically those high HD camera
I got you.
records,
I got
it is
you.
expensive.
I got you.
Well, we have to wrap up soon, and I want to.
Well, are you still going to do the game?
I don't know if we have time for the game.
You got time for the game.
Game.
What is it?
We're
Yeah.
gonna. Here's the thing.
9:23.
We got email. We asked for email at Valhalla Rising, and we got email.
You got?
We
Wow.
got
You
email.
also have an official show email with your name though.
What is that?
The Roy and Matt show at gmail.com.
At gmail.com.
At gmail.com.
Yep,
Did you do that?
I did.
Oh,
That's what
I was
you-
going to say.
that's-
the Roy and Matt. Well, we got a email at Valhalla Rising.
Somebody
wanna-
you know?
What's that?
Somebody you know?
They know it.
We don't
they
know him.
us.
Oh,
We
Awesome.
we want to thank him for sending it. But what the email said was that the game tagline was awesome. They loved tagline, and they suggested that we do it again. But they gave us some suggestions. So he gave us some suggestions. The suggestions that they gave us were use Kevin Costner, Tom Cruise. Got a problem with any of those?
I have Tom Cruise pulled up right now with Bruce Willis. I have 5 of each of their films.
I thought Bruce Willis would be more fun.
I'm
Yeah,
fine
anybody-
with losing to whoever.
I'm easy either both ways.
So I was playing the game the other day with my wife, and we did we went over the Tom Cruise
Okay.
things.
Oh, so you cheated.
No. Well, I was trying to tell her how fun the game was, and it turns out a lot of Tom Cruise's movies, the tagline is essentially in the movie name.
Yes, a lot of them are.
Well, those were the ones that were easiest to get.
Now, I will warn you. In the ones that I've got, there's a couple.
So
that
Logan,
do, I pull it out.
hold on. Logan is going to be the game master.
Yep, producer Logan, game
So-
master.
All right.
Absolutely.
Who are we doing first?
Have you been a game master before?
I know where this is going, and so I'm going to say no. Come on,
Another day.
come on.
I'll get you.
Try
again.
me. This
Another
is my
day. Another day, Dungeon Master. Another day.
All right. I'm fired up. Kevin Costner?
Kevin, no.
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 Bruce Willis.
Bruce Willis.
We're doing Bruce Willis.
Bruce
So
Willis.
I'm gonna just I
We're playing-
mixed it all up as far
Right.
as timeline.
All right, we're playing individually. Unless I'm behind, then it's collective.
Okay, so are we ready?
Ready.
Yeah.
The lives of two mob hitmen, a boxer,
Last man standing.
a gangster's wife, and a pair of diner bandits intertwine in four tales of violence
Pulp
and
Fiction.
redemption. Thank you.
Dang it.
Let's
That's one
go up a
for
little
Matt.
bit. A case of mistaken identity.
Hold
Lands-
on.
Lupa.
Lupa, what? Looper.
Looper.
What?
Looper.
No, let
Looper.
him finish.
Oh, let me.
Who
how-
are
how-
you,
how
folks?
Hold
about-
on, hold
how
on.
about-
Stop. Pulp Fiction.
Pulp Fiction was the first.
What's your favorite scene? Hold on, what's your favorite scene? Pulp
my
Fiction.
favorite scene is when Travolta and I
Uma.
can't think of the name now.
Samuel Jackson.
Samuel Jackson are there with the three guys, and they're eating the burgers. And he's, what kind of burger? It's a Big Kahuna burger. That's my favorite scene.
That is a tasty burger.
Yeah, that's a good scene.
I love that scene where he shoots the guy on the couch who's just sitting there like totally stoned out of his mind.
Yeah, that's a good scene too. Jake, never seen the movie?
Afraid not. I've seen the Muppets preview of the Muppets doing Pulp Fiction.
I don't even know what that is.
Quickly followed thereafter by the car scene where he accidentally shoots the guy in the
love when
back
he's-
seat.
That is good. That's good. Matt, your favorite scene?
I was going to go with when he shoots him in the...
They're sitting there driving.
I like it when Bruce Willis comes up out of that basement and is looking around the pawn shop
when he
and
goes-
Yeah.
goes through all the different
Chainsaw
weapons.
was one of them.
Well, like a bat, a chainsaw, and then he ends up with a katana,
Samurai sword.
sword.
Yeah.
That's awesome. All right, go ahead. Next.
All right,
What
next
was
one.
What was the clue?
Oh, we were both wrong. It's not Looper, so go.
Finish it.
Yes.
What was the tagline?
A case of mistaken identity lands blank in the middle of a war being plotted by two of the city's most rival crime bosses, the rabbi and the boss.
Oh.
This is one of my favorite movies.
Slevin.
Yep. What is the full name?
Lucky number Slevin.
There you go. Lucky number 7. It's 2 for Matt. It's a shutout right now.
Well, team
Collective.
Matt and I.
Okay. Ready?
Yeah, I guess.
After discovering that an asteroid the size of Texas is
Armageddon. I got it. I got that.
You
Hold
got
on.
that one.
So check it out. I got a story for you. The scene where Bruce Willis and Ben Affleck are going down down to the
In
it's
the
the last
elevator.
scene, right?
Yeah.
And one of them's gonna have to stay there and push the button and blow up the asteroid.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sitting there while I watch with my wife. I look over, she's crying.
That's horrible.
It is. It's awesome, and we talk about it all the time. I'm like,
Oh,
oh
man.
man, this movie's sad. Not like Armageddon sad, but it's pretty sad. So
Well, speaking of Ben Affleck, I read that someone in Iran is going to make a movie as a response to Ben Affleck's Argo, because that one was loaded with inaccuracies, and they're going to make the real story of the Iran hostage crisis.
my guess is it's not going to be HD.
Well, I'm fired up to see it.
They can get the memory.
Yeah,
space.
there's actually a lot of controversy about that, and also Zero Dark 30 that just came out. It's interesting to see.
Are
the
they going to
responses
have
that they're
more
getting.
explosions in Zero Dark 30? Because if not, who cares?
Well, I want to win this game, so let's go to the next
go.
question.
Okay.
Next question. You got to have at least 5.
I
just made that up.
A CIA operative
Red.
hires a team of mercenaries to eliminate
Red.
a Latin dictator and a renegade CIA agent.
I know no Bruce Willis movies.
This is Expendables?
The Expendables, the original.
We saw that.
Funny thing is,
Gosh.
did you see 1 or 2?
Roy and I saw
the newer
number
one.
Roy and I saw number 1 the day it came out for lunch. We took a long lunch and went
Yeah.
and watched
The
it.
funny thing is, I watched this movie. I don't remember that plot line ever
I
being in it.
I don't even remember there being a plot line.
Yeah,
I just know
Right.
that they light people on fire with their plane. That's awesome.
Yep.
And that Sylvester Stallone cracked his back. And we know the scene. It's when Goldberg just lays
crushed him.
waste to him. And you're like, that's the scene right there.
Yep.
But that whole thing with Sylvester Stallone liking that lady and all that is so stupid.
One of the funniest things about that movie was how many like head blowing up scenes there were. Just like straight up shotgun to the head with
Well,
like
that was that
melon
exploding.
effect.
That's that exploding shotgun thing that guy had.
Yeah.
That was awesome. I don't even know if that's real, but
I'm sure somewhere it is.
my guess is that it's illegal.
Probably. We're having enough issues with assault rifles. So ready for the next one?
Did you get that too?
Yeah.
Yeah,
You got that
He's
one.
at 3.
It's 3-1.
3.
So it's at this point it's second place. You have a chance to tie.
Whatever, just go.
It's still Bruce Willis, right?
Yes, still Bruce Willis. A drifting gunslinger for hire.
Last
finds-
Man
Last man standing.
That technically went to
Yeah,
Matt.
I already said Last Man Standing. You can't even go with. If I've guessed a movie already, you've got to eliminate it. So I'm not just making up rules as we go.
When did you
Tap
guess
tap
this
no
one?
erases.
All right. Winner now for all the money.
No. You got to go number 4. We got to have a number 4.
You can't double stamp a triple stamp.
I stamped it. I don't even know
Okay.
what that means.
We're
Don't
going to
dare.
shift it up. This is not Bruce Willis, but this is for all the Banes.
What
If you can think of this one. Actually no, I'm sorry. We can't do it because you cheated. This was going to be a Tom Cruise one that I had up.
Days of Thunder.
No.
Color of Money.
Well, let's see if you get it.
Top Gun.
Top Gun.
Neo-military lawyer Caffey defends Marines accused.
Oh.
Well, good for you, good men. You can't handle the truth. I just won. Jack
Man.
Nicholson.
Ladies and gentlemen, with his flash comeback, Roy wins.
Wow. Let's do one more. Just
One
throw one more on there.
Well,
Okay.
Are we doing another 5-pointer?
That was a 30-pointer. So this is like this
Yeah.
is
You,
for
you want
second
to
round.
do a
That
full
was the
other
game.
round?
No,
of-
just do another.
That
People
was the
re-
game. This is the after
People
party.
and
I'm
me
interested if you'll
really
get this
like
one.
this game.
Okay. In a future where special police unit is able to arrest murderers before they commit
Minority
crimes.
Report.
Minority
Minor-
Report.
I
Did you
said
get
it.
that?
Yeah,
I
technically,
said it.
Jake,
I don't think
Jake
that-
had that. But I have to say, you can't interfere by mumbling gibberish.
know
That
what?
discredits your answer.
I want to
Now
say
we're-
this
now
about.
we're making up rules.
I want to say this about the level of Roy's willingness to cheat. We were playing futsal, which is soccer with the ball's real heavy and it doesn't bounce because it's real heavy and dense. We were playing futsal and this guy Dave, who's the nicest human being ever born.
Dave would literally give you anything he owns to make you
yeah,
happy.
not even like he's the most abused man I know because he owns a truck strictly so people can borrow it when they need a
Straight
truck.
up. And you guys know Dave, so you can borrow his truck.
All right.
But
Well made.
Dave scored a goal so that Roy's team was losing, and Roy kicked that ball as hard as he could and hit Dave square in the spine from about 4 feet away.
You know what? I told Dave that I'm sorry repeatedly, and that happened 6 years ago, maybe.
I think you should call him tomorrow.
I kid you not. I saw him probably, I see him all the time, but I apologized again, and it was like 4 years later. It was so heinous. It was like just taking a baby chick in your hand and crushing it.
You should
That's how bad
apologize
it
again
was.
on the show.
No, I'm not going to. I called him that night though, and then I apologized profusely the next day.
I've got 2 more if you want to run through them real quick.
Let's go, let's go.
Real
Okay.
quick, as long as I can win.
123 elite U.S. soldiers drop into Somalia to capture 2 top lieutenants.
Cheers to the sun.
Nope. Of a renegade warlord and find themselves in a desperate
Clear and present
battle
danger.
with a large force of heavily armed Somalians. No.
Black Hawk Down.
The
Yes,
Last Samurai.
Black Hawk Down.
You know what? We are not doing Bruce
Oh.
Willis anymore, are we?
No, this
No.
is Tom Hardy.
You got me. You got me.
Sorry, this is Tom Hardy. If you know who he is.
Who's Tom Hardy?
He played Bane,
Bane.
in the latest Batman movie.
I don't know who that is. Who's
He's
that?
he's actually
Who
really,
was he in Black Hawk Down?
He played.
Was he one of the?
He's
Was he
gonna
one
be
of the
this-
Delta operators?
He was
Let
the
me see.
Hawk. or the
no,
Down.
that's Tom Sizemore.
Tom Sizemore. He was a good sergeant. He was the ranger. Guy.
He's not in the first group of actors, so it probably wasn't a huge role.
Yeah, he's been in a lot of movies, but he's a B-list. So
Well, he's moving up. He was
Yeah.
Twombly.
yeah, no, he's coming up.
Oh,
Twombly.
but still,
yeah.
all these big movies.
Twombly.
Yeah. He
That
he
Disney
was in
Channel
he's
thing.
big in the UK. He's actually from that neck of the woods, and so he's kind of moved over into American cinema.
Fascinating. What's our last one?
In London, a real estate scam puts millions of pounds up for grabs, attracting some of the city's scrappiest tough guys and its more established underworld
All
types.
right, we can say that movie's going to suck.
No,
whatever it
hold
is.
on.
Just
No,
go to
this,
another
this is
one.
actually a really good movie.
It's not
That if you
Snack.
could-
Lock,
if
Stock,
you-
and
if-
Two
Well, if
Smoking
it's not
Barrels.
Green Street Hooligans, it sucks. Okay.
Was it
So-
Lock, Stock?
No,
No.
No, it wasn't. It was the
I know you've got this.
Oh man,
Who's
It's
in
more,
it?
It's more recent, 2008.
2008.
Gerard Butler, Tom Wilkinson, Idris Elba.
Yeah,
you
no
may
one
not-
knows.
it's a Guy Ritchie movie.
no, I know. It's not Revolver. Is it? No,
Nope.
it's not Revolver. It's The Real Rock and Rolla.
The real Rock and Rolla was supposed to be the sequel to this. It is Rock and Rolla.
Rock and Rolla. That's what it was.
I've never seen this movie.
That is a movie that you need to
Okay,
watch.
that's. Don't tell me what I need to do. That's what we're supposed to tell Jake
Yeah,
what
that's
movies
what I'm
to
here
watch.
for.
Yeah, you
Give
tell-
us
all right.
one that everyone has seen.
I've seen. Okay. Lion King.
All right.
Give us
Ready,
one that we'll have seen.
set.
An honest one.
Go. The macho students of an elite U.S. flying school for advanced fighter.
Red
Top
Tails.
Gun.
Top Gun.
Oh, you know what? Way to go with the white only group. I went with something a little bit more
Didn't mean to be
cultural
so bigoted.
diverse.
I guess it's just where I've
Way to
grown
go. You're as tall as Abe Lincoln, but you really don't have his same morals, do you?
up. No, it comes with
So-
the beard.
My guess is that might get edited. All right, so
That's
we've had a
part-
pretty
yeah.
full show. What's nice about this is we still have stuff to talk about next week. We didn't get into half of our reality stuff.
We didn't talk about soccer at all.
We didn't. Oh, let's talk about it real quick at the end of the show.
Did you watch soccer this week, Logan? Did you watch Man U? All right, 5 minutes.
I had like 5 minutes, and it was just as I was passing, I stopped to watch some. I don't remember what game it was.
Okay, no one. You're a pro at this, but no one can see your head nod. So you have to say yes or no.
I was grabbing the microphone.
Excellent. 5 minutes. Jake, did you pick a team?
I picked, I think it's Birmingham City.
Not even in the Premier anymore.
Oh, they're not?
No,
They got relegated.
they got relegated.
Why?
Because they sucked. They were the worst.
How the Premier League works is there's like a trillion levels of
Yeah.
soccer, and
Aw.
if you're in the bottom 3 of the league at the final at
They
the end of the
kick
season,
you out.
You get
they put you down in the lower league, and then the 3 top teams come up from that lower league. They go in. They get
so how great is that? If you're like the Kansas City Royals and the Pittsburgh Pirates and the Expos. Used to be the Expos. You wouldn't even be in baseball anymore.
My uncle
You'd
played
be
on
somewhere
Kansas
else.
City Royals.
Well, he wouldn't be in the major leagues,
Ah,
and some other team would be up there. It'd be the River Cats and somebody else.
yeah.
wow.
But they don't do it that way
That's
here.
fun.
So anyway, you picked a relegated team. So your homework is that you
To
pick
find a better
you
one.
go back and try to find a team.
You have
team
20 chances. There's 20 teams in the Premier League right
currently, and 3 of them will not be there.
I'm going to try my best to hit every one of those 3.
Right? Don't you go? Yeah. You. Good luck.
Thank you.
All
Thank
right.
you.
So real quick, the United game. We all watched. We're going to talk real quickly about the Man United game.
Okay.
I watched it. Did you watch it?
now. I watched it.
Any impressions, real quick?
Yeah, I don't like Ashley Young.
Never have.
I've never wanted him. They when they picked him up, I was irritated by the signing. And what I find most irritating is he's terrible.
His touch is horrible.
He's terrible. And
Thank
he
you,
was,
Charles
he
Barkley.
Terrible?
was, terrible.
It was terrible.
But he was playing in the wing when Valencia was sitting on the bench, and Valencia is so much better. And it
I think they were
irritated
just
me,
giving Valencia a rest.
which is fair.
They have an FA Cup game this week as well against West Ham. I think Ferguson was trying to say, if we can get away with Young playing, then we can put Valencia in on Wednesday, and it won't fatigue him as much. And then they'll probably put Hernandez in because they were resting him as well. And Van Persie just goes and scores. That's it.
Does That's, but I also think this,
And it was, and I like you. We talked about this a little bit earlier. I'm glad he got hurt because he had to leave the game.
Yeah, I was thrilled by his injury.
So
but here's what is Brendan Rodgers, the coach, the manager for Liverpool.
right.
He made great halftime adjustments. He brought on Sturridge, and he kind of changed the way they were going. And I'm glad they lost. I'm glad he didn't do this till halftime. But I was blown away because everybody on earth knew that Man U's defense is susceptible to speed.
Right.
And he didn't bring out his fast players until the middle of the second half. And I was
Well, I mean, you've coached soccer. Don't you think that part of that is they run them and then they figure that then they're going to bring in the fresh legs after the back line's been fatigued a bit, and then it's almost amplified at that point.
Well, yeah, I agree, but I coach high school soccer where there's a real good chance you're going to have players who can't play a full game. I think if I was coaching professional soccer, I would have the expectation the players I'm going against have enough juice for a 90-minute
But
game.
we used to watch Mourinho when he had Chelsea and he had Arjen Robben and Sean Wright Phillips and other fast guys. He would bring them in the last 15 minutes of the game, and it would completely change the dynamic of what was going on. And I think some of that was just bringing in speed late. Because for those of you who don't know, you get 3 substitutions in a soccer game. It's not like a kid's soccer game where you can bring them in and out and in and out and in and out. You get 3 the entire game, and so you have to choose them wisely.
Yeah, and also even if someone gets injured, you can't.
Yeah, no. If you've already done your 3 and you have somebody that's injured, you're stuck. You're with 10 and a half at that point.
Yeah. Did you watch any of the Man City game?
You know what? I think that I finally have a DVR, and so that's in the last 3-4. No, that's the last 6 months. I've actually had a DVR. I was not a DVR person, so now I cruised through the Man City game. I knew where some of the highlights were. Specifically, I wanted to see Dzeko miss the penalty. Did you watch the penalty kick?
Did you see the red card?
The one prior to the one that led to that?
Yeah.
Do you have an opinion on that?
I do. I want to hear yours first.
I don't have an opinion on it because I went right to the penalty kick.
Well, anybody who
I was trying to make it sound like I did.
I think it was a fair card. You can't argue that a card was merited. But to give him a straight red 9 minutes into the game,
it's pretty tough. It's
pretty tough.
A nice
and it was
yellow.
a foul. It was a clear foul. It had to be a penalty. But I think what happened is they called it was basically he was the last player. He was denied a clear.
Yeah.
He basically tackled. I can't remember the name of the.
Vermaelen tackled he pulled him down.
Yeah,
I
he
saw
pulled him
that.
down.
Yeah,
And he
I
did.
saw it.
But they were the justification was it was a denial of a clear goal scoring opportunity. Yada yada yada. The keeper was clearly in play. The ball was inside the 6 with the keeper there.
Right.
And the game literally before that in the Man U game, they put a ball over the top and Welbeck got
Right,
fouled.
well, yeah,
and they said, "Oh, the keeper was close enough. The keeper was in
He
place.
was going to make a play on it.
So it's not." And that's how I understand the rules. So
Right.
I found it irritating that they basically ruined a pretty big not rivalry game, but
Right.
2 quality teams.
And Vermaelen's not only a good defensive player, but he actually scores.
Yeah, and
on set
I just feel like
pieces.
the referees handicapped that game. I don't agree with. I
Sure.
agree they should have had a penalty. He should have probably had a yellow card, but a straight red 8 minutes into a game,
Pretty tough.
pretty tough. I don't.
Did you see the second one? Second red? Company? I think it was Company who got redded.
I may or may not have turned the game off out of
No.
irritation.
2-footed tackle. And then he argued about it. Here's the thing: if you tackle a guy, go straight at him, and you leave your feet and you go with 2 feet studs up at somebody, you get straight up yellow. But the difference between that is Howard Webb is the official for the Man U Liverpool game, and the other guy was a really skinny guy. I don't know his name, but he's an experienced ref too. But Howard Webb is just a World Cup official, and the other guy isn't.
And Howard Webb is built like a brick house. He could beat up every single player on the field.
Oh, for sure.
They have to respect him.
He's bald. He's just.
You guys are hating this right now because it's pure soccer
No,
talk.
that's cool.
So and also one more soccer thing. We started conditioning for the high school team.
Yeah.
And those kids are out of shape. And watching them run till they dang near die, there's just something about it that makes me laugh every time, knowing that half these kids.
You brought up something funny. You said that you did conditioning last week, and how many are going to quit? How many quit today? You went out today. We talked a little bit earlier. You said some of them are going to quit today.
Yeah, I would say we probably lost 10 to 15 players.
10 to 15. How many came out? 10 to 15 players just said, you know what? Running is too hard. I don't know if I can play soccer. Running is going to be
Now,
really
intern
hard.
Jake, you have a bad ticker, so I assume you're.
Yeah, no, I
never-
run with the
There's
asthma
the name,
kids,
the
so
bad
there's lots
ticker.
of the bad ticker.
No,
Yeah.
it's Lucas.
Okay, Lucas.
Lucas
But
the
you,
bad
so
ticker.
you're.
Yeah, so
I-
running's off the limits.
Okay,
That's-
so
no.
so I'm gonna draw a picture for you. But you're a musician.
Yeah,
Um,
yes I am.
I have no way to correlate this into music.
I'm excited to see.
I'd like to see you
do.
try.
I'm not even gonna try. We basically tryouts don't start till February. We condition for the month of January to get everybody in shape.
Yeah,
You don't have to be at conditioning. You can just show up at tryouts, and if you're in great shape and you're awesome, you're probably gonna make the team.
yeah.
If you're new to the school, you're a freshman, it's a good idea to be at conditioning because then we get to see you. And if you're a hard-working kid and you show up at tryouts and we're like, you probably have the same skill as this player, but we know you work hard and you're willing to put in the effort, we're going to take you.
As opposed to seeing them for 3 days.
Yeah. And
tryouts.
so it's going to be good for you. And what's hilarious is a lot of these kids will show up and they'll go through the week, and then they don't show up again, but inevitably they all show up for tryouts. And then when we do our running and stuff, they always are telling us excuses like, "Oh, coach, I can't run today. I have the wrong shoes." And so it's just funny because I know all those girls are going to be there at tryouts and they're all going to get cut. What makes me laugh though is equally as funny to me is the kids who I watch them run and they're clearly not, like, we'll have them going in and out of cones and doing speed ladders and different things, and they keep tripping and falling, or we'll just have them doing sprints and they can't help but run into the person next to them and trip and fall over nothing. And you're like, why are you here? Like, well, you play guitar?
I do.
Is that your only instrument?
No, but it's my main instrument.
Do you play drums?
Yeah.
Piano?
Yeah.
What don't you play?
I don't know.
Oboe.
French horn.
Oboe.
Yeah.
French horn.
Those things.
So you wouldn't show up to try out for a new band and be like, oh,
No, not an
I'll take a
instrument,
whack at the French horn. That's how odd,
Yeah.
like.
What if you played the piano like you were playing with oven mittens on? You would know that you sucked when
Yeah.
somebody else was just like whatever.
No, it's obvious when you're around other people doing things that you're incapable of doing.
You're not at that level.
Exactly.
You like tinkling. You love tinkering around, but you're not going to make
Enjoy
the band.
Tinkle, yeah. No, it's true.
But they
no, it's
stay.
obvious, but they
Those-
keep on
you know
going.
what those girls are? They're the same ones that go to the American Idol tryouts. That is the American Idol soccer tryout for them.
And the best part is
You get to
inevitably,
be Simon Cowell,
inevitably one of their parents shows up after we cut them.
just like American Idol.
Just
Yeah.
bent, and they're like, "How could you cut my daughter? She's the best player on
Yeah,
such
see,
and such crappy rec
Here's
team."
the full
And we're
circle.
like, "She's just
Here's
not
the
good."
first circle. It's surrounded by lots of positive support, and so the girls are conceited enough to think that it's they're
Man,
making
nobody
it.
told them that they were ugly little kids often
Yeah.
enough.
Okay,
the
well,
question that
yeah.
I would have is somebody that has not been playing the sport a lot, but really has a serious interest that didn't happen until they're getting into high school. Are you saying don't even try? I mean, what about the people that they when they step into it? Of course, they don't have the ability to compete on a level that where you're looking for. But where's that bar between?
That's a great point. And here's where it is. Soccer's funny is because like basketball, kids go out and
Another
play
sport.
Well, kids go out and play basketball. So if you're like, I want to make the basketball team. My nephew didn't play. He's a senior in high school this year, and he's on the basketball team at his high school. He didn't play his freshman year. He didn't play basketball, but he decided his freshman year, I want to make the JV team as a sophomore. And so he went out every day and he shot the ball, and he could do layups with both hands, and he just worked and worked and worked, got himself into shape, showed up to every day of conditioning, showed up to tryouts, and he didn't start, but he worked so hard and he had developed skill on his own. But what we get a lot of in soccer, for some reason with soccer, kids will show up and they'll say, we had a girl, and she told us, yeah, I played soccer when I was like 7 or 8. I haven't played since then, but I'm back in the game. I'm excited to play this year. And we're like, oh, so are you playing on a club team? Are you
Club being a competitive team. There's that for those
Yeah.
who don't know.
Not just going out
There's
on
a
Saturdays.
recreational, and then
Yeah.
there's competitive, and
well,
different levels of competitive.
either rec or competitive?
And they used to have an area
Select.
called select. They went rec, select, competitive.
But you're playing soccer on your free time. You're doing something to get better. And these kids aren't. And then they
Right.
show up and they're bent out of shape, and their parents are like, well, my kid conditioned. They want to make the team, and I'm like, your kid doesn't. Your kid can't name the positions on a soccer field.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
I think. Don't you think that that's because some people just think, oh, my kid can run and they run fast, and soccer's not that complicated. In most people's view, it's not that complicated. You kick the ball, you run after it, and you kick it until it goes into the big net. And that's a lot of people's view of it, and we just know differently.
Well, and maybe it's also the unfortunate side that people don't understand what the purpose of the sport is. A lot of people, their mentality is, it's to go and have fun on a team and learn how to do, play as a team and have fun. They
not
don't
at the
understand
higher
that
levels.
That's what losers
right,
say.
and that's what I'm saying is that they don't understand that what you're trying to do is a competitive sport. It's something that it is a serious competitive sport.
They think soccer is kind of the less serious, or
I think
non-athletes can show
I think
up.
in the high school realm, the mentality is that they don't take the sport seriously. We've gotten to the point where everybody's the happy-go-feely. Yeah, you did your best, Johnny, and they don't realize that for the mentality should be, especially in at least in high school, the competitive. We're there to win. We're there to put good people on the field and win games.
We have after we make cuts, and I'm still soft. It really does
Such a lover.
hurt my feelings cutting some of these kids who are terrible and should just self-cut, and they're terrible, but they try so hard, and you feel bad, and I always feel really guilty about that.
Right.
But when we have our parent meeting, and there's all the freshman parents, and who are, I tell them at every meeting, I always say, just so you guys know, we're out here to have fun. We want your kids to have fun. And everybody goes, and I go, but I want you to also know one other thing. The only way to humanly have fun in sports is to win. That's the only fun thing.
Right.
So we're going to work hard. Your kids are going to work hard. Your kids aren't guaranteed playing time. We are here to win, and that's what our job is. If your kid works hard in practice, has a good attitude, they will play. We will get them playing. We try to play. Everybody usually plays for us.
But not that much. They'll lose the kids that aren't very good. They don't play that much, and they can't.
Yeah. We play to win, but and that's the thing, and I think that speaks to is we tell our parents we're here to win. We're
right. This is not everybody gets a chance. Everybody is great.
You're playing for
feel good.
You're playing for playoffs. You're playing for a title. You're playing for a pennant.
Right.
You're playing. For
We're here to
something.
actually achieve something, not to make your kids feel like they're successful when they're not.
Yeah.
Well, I think we should maybe we should wrap it up because we're pretty long at this point, and then we'll come back to some of our philosophies on soccer and parenting and all of that this next week. And so for all of you who've tuned in once again, my name's Roy.
I'm Matt.
I'm Jake.
I'm producer Logan.
Hey, thank you for tuning in and downloading and listening, and we will see you next time.
And good luck, Lucas.
Good luck, Lucas.
Thump, 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 thump.
That's Lucas.
This has been a Ninth Row Media production. You can find The Roy and Matt Show at youtube.com/The Roy and Matt Show and ninethrowmedia.com.